Doing well on this beautiful Monday morning. So I just wanted to come in live. I've got a lot of questions from some of you guys about, how do I get my spouse back? Does this path method really work? Is it going to work in my situation? Does this work, even if my spouse is having an affair or they say they're done and there's nothing I can do, right? Will this even work then? And so I wanted to be able to answer some of your questions and share with you the first step here of the path system to get your spouse back. All right. And I just want to go in and share with you guys, a lot of you here in the group, you've been following us for a while, and you know that the success stories are obviously pouring in here in the group, and that we are the fastest growing marriage resource online. And so we've worked with tens of thousands of couples, right? But we made a big discovery. And some of you guys remember when we made that discovery. It was a little over a year ago. But we've been working with thousands of couples just like you. And we found that there was one little thing that was a big reason why marriages were ending in divorce. And if you guys remember, I said it was something insane because literally no one else was talking about it. In fact, Mark and I here at High Thrive Coaching didn't even discover ourselves until we had been doing this for a long time. And we realized that if we were missing it, then so was everyone else. And so I wanted to be able to share with you what that is. But here is what it's not. Okay, I see some of you watching here live in the Thriving Marriage Facebook group. Welcome. So how many of us, raise your hands, let me know in the comments, how many of us have been told that in order to save your marriage, you need to work on yourself? You guys been told that? I know I was. It's kind of this really popular notion out there, like, if your marriage is struggling, just work on yourself, right? And what happens is that we would ask our clients, how are you doing working on yourself? And they'd say, oh, I'm doing great. Like I'm losing weight, I'm getting into shape, I work out at the gym all the time now, or I'm better with the kids, I'm home more, I do the laundry, I cook dinner, I'm more present at home, I work less, whatever, right? I listen, I understand more. I stopped whatever behavior, right? I stopped drinking, I stopped complaining, I stopped neglecting them, I stopped having the affair, etc., right? I meditate. And we'd say, oh, good job. You're doing a great job working on yourself. How is your marriage? And they would say, oh, we're still getting a divorce. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's exactly what I did too. I tried the love dare, I tried the love languages, I went to therapy, I did all these things trying to make all these positive changes. And the bottom line is that working on yourself, it's good for you. It is, it's good for you, but it's simply not the solution for saving your marriage. Okay, the solution is to work on changing your spouse's story and their beliefs about you. If you don't do that, then none of the positive changes in the world are going to make a difference because they're going to continue to believe that story about you. So in other words, we kind of need to market ourselves to our spouse. Okay? In marketing, our number one job is that we need to get attention. We need to grab people's attention right away. And then after we have their attention, then we build the know, like, trust factor so that they want what we're offering. So that's what we need to do with our spouse as well. We need to show them, like, get their attention immediately, that there's something different about us, that they're curious about it, they're attracted to it. And then we build on that attraction to create connection. Okay? And so then they want what we're offering and we close the deal. Make sense? All right. So here is a big discovery, okay? 98% of the time, our spouse has built up a belief about us, which is justifying their reasons in leaving. So let me know in the comments, put in your spouse's reasons why they want out, why they're not happy, why they're not willing to work on it with you, why they're doing what they're doing, okay? So that I can help you with those right away. Often we hear comments like this, you just won't change. I've been telling you for years that I need this and this and this, and you're not doing it, so I'm done. I see that you're changing, but it's only temporary. Sometimes you change and then it just goes back to the same way it always was, and so I'm done. Or maybe you're just changing to manipulate me to come back. And if I come back to you, then you'll go back to the way that it was and I'll be hurt again. And I'm tired of that and I'm done, right? Or I just can't trust you. How many of us have heard this one? I love you, but I'm not in love with you, right? I need to find myself. Maybe we're better as friends. Maybe it's better for the kids if we're not fighting all the time. I just can't be happy here. I don't get what I want. So what is your spouse's story? What is the reasons why they are justifying their decision to leave or to have an affair or to not work on the marriage with you? Whatever that reason is that they've built up about you over the past weeks, months, and sometimes years, we must remove that belief or they won't come back. They will not come back because our beliefs are so strong, whether they're true or not, right? So this belief they have about you, it might be true, it might be completely untrue, or it might be a mix of both, right? But whether it's true or not, they believe it is true. So it's true to them. And they've built up this story about us, this perception of us. And it's usually, like I said, a very negative perception at this point. And they will continue to believe that because for them, it's a defense mechanism. It's keeping them safe from some kind of pain or unpleasant thing that they don't want. Okay? And they will hold fast to that defense mechanism so strongly unless we show them that it's okay to let that go. And so that's what the entire path process is designed to do. Now, here's the old model. Here's how we used to do things, okay? We used to work on ourselves, improve yourself, right? And that takes years, doesn't it? Change is hard. It's hard to make positive changes. It takes a long time to build healthy habits and have them stick long term. Agreed? But even if you make change quickly, say you just have like an overnight transformation, which can happen. So even if you make change quickly, you're still in the state of hoping that your spouse notices, hoping that it's enough, hoping that everything you're doing will finally get through to them and that they'll want to come back to you. But what happens is that it's too late because it simply takes too long. Either they don't notice the changes that we're making or they don't believe them. They say, I see you're changing, but I don't believe it, and I'm still done. I still want out. Okay, that's the old model. What we need to do instead is the new model. We call it the path method. In the new model, it's going to make our spouse notice right away that there's something different about us. Make them notice the positive changes that we're making. Get them to wake up and notice these changes. And then 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever it looks like for you in your situation, they're going to want to get back together with you. They're going to see the possibility of being happy with you again. And you're going to be able to close the deal. And after you get back together, now you have the time to work on yourself, to improve yourself, and to make all those changes that take a really long time to make, but may need to happen to have a really happy, thriving marriage long term. Make sense? So do you see how we need to flip this entire thing on its head? It's like we have to reverse this entire model from the old model to the new model. Because if your spouse is wanting out, if they're saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I want a divorce, I want a separation, I want to take the kids, I'm having an affair, I'm not in love with you anymore, then time is not on your side. And you do not want to put yourself in the situation of just hoping that your spouse notices the changes that you're making. We want to make them notice right away so that we build that curiosity factor. Oh, wow, there is something different about John. Oh, wow, there's something different about Susan. Oh, wow, there's something different about Mike. What is it? I'm curious. Things do not feel the same. And then you build on that curiosity to create attraction. And then we build on that attraction to create connection. And from that connection, they will see the possibility of being happy with you again, and they'll let that old story about you go. Okay? That's kind of the high-level overview. Now, we go into the specific steps. How do we actually do that, right? I can almost hear you saying, well, Heather, this sounds great, but how do we actually do that? I've been trying to do these things, but it's not really working, so how do we actually do it? So this method here that we have with the path method is it shows them that we've changed without us even saying it. It's a simple 4-step process, okay? We call it the path method. Stands for peaceful communication, adjust how they see you, trust building, hope, and close, because we got to close that deal, right? So in the first step that I'm going to go in with you guys today to answer a lot of the questions that I've been getting from you is the root assessment. And now I'm seeing that a lot of you that are still really, really struggling here and still really torn up about this, and you've been working for a long time, and you're really wondering, is it even possible to turn this around? I can say with almost absolute assurance that you have not done the root assessment, okay? Because most people miss this step, and most people do not save their marriage because they miss this step. And so it's crucial that we do not skip this step. It is vital. What most people do is they get into action, or they get into freeze mode and they end up doing nothing. But oftentimes they'll get into action and they'll try to just do all these different things and hope that something works. And they are guessing at what needs to be changed, or just assuming that they know what needs to be changed. And what happens is that it backfires, or it's just completely ineffective. Okay? And that's not what we want to do. So if you are still struggling, I want you to take a really good inventory of your situation right now and ask yourself, have I done this step? And if you haven't, is that a big reason why I'm still struggling? And I would say, yes, it is, because we've done this so many times with so many thousands of people that we know that this step cannot be missed, okay? So let's go into what it is. In the root assessment, we scientifically assess your marriage and determine what the root issues and perceptions are behind their story. Remember their story, the reasons why they want out? Okay, that is the surface level. The story is the surface level. It's the symptom. There are deeper reasons, root issues that they have built up that support this story. And here's the kicker. Most of us, we will know what one or two of these root issues are, but there are always one or two more that we are completely unaware of. We have no idea that they're thinking this. We have no idea that this is going on inside them. We have no idea that this is what's going on inside their head or their heart, okay? So I want to see if this is true about you. Ask yourself, have I ever asked this question? Have I ever been blindsided? Have I ever been completely unaware that this was going on? You know, you think maybe I had no idea that they were having an affair, or I had no idea that they felt this way, or I had no idea it was this bad. I thought we were totally fine. I thought we were good. And now all of a sudden, boom, I find out that she says she hasn't been happy for years. How could I have missed that, right? So being blindsided. Or have you ever asked yourself, you know, I don't know how they could think this about me. I don't know how they could do this. I don't know where the person I married, where did they go? Like, who is this person, and how could they think this way, and how could they do this? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Yes? Okay. That is a clear indication that there are root issues that you are unaware of. You're unaware of them. And that's okay, because you haven't known up until now, and you're not a mind reader, right? We don't know everything that goes inside our spouse's head and their heart. And so it's okay that you haven't known. But now what we must do is do the scientific assessment to determine and find out exactly what every single root issue and perception is behind their story. And unless we unearth all 4, sometimes 5, but usually 4 of these root issues, we will not get them back, because they will hold on to that defense mechanism so strongly. That is why it's vital that we do this root assessment to determine exactly what's going on there. So instead of guessing at what needs to be changed or assuming we know what needs to be changed, we actually know exactly what the root issues are and the perceptions are behind their story. Oops, I missed a slide. Okay, there we go. And so now that we know exactly what needs to be changed, now we can get their attention right away in the most effective manner possible. Every interaction that you have with your spouse, we will help it to be as effective as possible to get you the fastest results humanly possible. So every time that you have a conversation, we say, this is exactly what you need to say here to get them to open up. This is exactly what we need to do here to start to restore some trust. This is exactly what we need to do here to get them to notice and have the belief and the possibility that they can be happy with you again. I'll go deeper into that on another live stream, but I wanted to really hone in here on the importance of the root assessment. You cannot miss this step. Otherwise, it's like guessing at how to solve a major, major health crisis, okay? You guys know me personally and my story of being diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 29 and being given a 5% chance of living with my baby, right? They told me to abort my baby to save my life. I said, no, that doesn't resonate with me. And so I was given a 5% chance to make it to this day. And here I am, right? And so what would have happened if I had received, I noticed a lump, and what would happen if I just went to a general doctor and got some really general advice? Or they just said, let's just put a Band-Aid on that. Would that have worked well? Would that have ended well for me? No, it would have been disastrous, right? What would happen if I said, okay, I see that I've got this lump here. I think I know what it is, and I'm just going to do surgery on myself. I'm just going to cut this thing out and think that that's going to solve it. Would that have worked? Absolutely not, right? That's why it's crucial that we go to an expert that knows how to diagnose exactly what we're facing and give us the exact treatment plan that will help us get the result that we want and give us the best chance possible of getting there. So that is exactly what we do here at High Thrive Coaching. We are experts and we do this every single day. We deal with only marriage crisis situations. That's why we are truly experts in this exact situation. And so we know how to scientifically assess, diagnose, and treat what you are going through. And unless you get that specific guidance from an expert, then you're just kind of guessing and shooting in the dark, which is not going to end well for you. So I see this comment here from Shane. Thanks, Shane. What happens if they don't want to give you another chance? Well, that is where 95% of our clients start. I don't want to give you another chance. It's too little, too late. We've tried too many times. And so what's happening here, Shane, and everyone else who's wondering this, is that they have this story and this belief about you. And unless we uncover the reasons why they've created this about you, they will not want to come back. So we must uncover what they are. And as we do that, we systematically remove every single one of those beliefs and replace them with the possibility of being happy with you again, of knowing that I want to be with Shane. Shane understands me. Shane is fun. Shane is attractive. Shane is awesome. Shane is trustworthy. Shane listens to me. Shane, I'm so connected with him. I'm so intrigued and attracted and connected with him, and I want to be with him. Right? And so time is not on your side if they say, I'm done, I'm not going to give you another chance, it's over, you should just move on. But that's exactly where 95% of the people are at when they start this process. And so we know that time isn't on your side. That's why we must implement these steps as quickly as possible to turn things around for you. And we know that it's possible because we do it every single day. And so that's why we always need to start here with the root assessment. And if you're still really struggling, it's most likely because you've fallen into one of those two traps. You've gotten into just getting into action without understanding what's really going on there and without having a systematic plan to get you from where you are to where you need to be, right? Doing the root assessment to uncover these root issues and being able to remove them step by step. Or two, you're in freeze mode, and so you end up doing nothing out of fear, and they end up pulling further away from you. So instead of doing that, getting into the just action mode without any kind of direction or freeze mode because you're afraid, we want to have a system here that's going to take you exactly where you are and pass you through every single checkpoint to get you to the result that you want, which is a happy, thriving marriage. So awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah. So Shane says, I know the reason as she said it, but there's always 3 or 4 reasons underneath that you're unaware of. And that's why we must do the root assessment. So if you're wanting more help with this, I encourage you. We're doing some free marriage calls with our vision specialist. And we are only offering this for free for a short time, but you can get some real actionable steps right now. And you can do that over at highthrivecoaching.com/apply. Okay, these are marriage breakthrough sessions with our marriage vision specialist that'll show you exactly the next steps that you need to take to get there and to know, is it possible for me in my marriage, in my situation right now? We do have a very large audience though, so I know that spots are going to fill up very quickly. So I encourage you, if you want one of these free calls while they're still free, go ahead and go to highthrivecoaching.com/apply. And know that no matter where you are right now, life is really short. And the struggles that we face right now will define us and how we handle them. And we get to choose, do I want to live my life with no regrets? Do I want to know that I gave my marriage every chance possible? Do I want to know that I explored every opportunity that was given to me so that I can have peace of mind, knowing that I did everything I could and I became a better version of myself at the end of the day? And that is our hope and our intention for you, is that you do live your life with no regrets and that you do have absolute peace about what you do right now in this moment. So I'll come again on another time and do the step 2 here in the path process, but I wanted to make sure I answered some of your questions. I see a lot of you struggling right now, and I know it's because you have skipped this step, and I don't want you guys to struggle anymore. And it is possible for you to get there, and we're happy to help you along the way. All right, thanks for joining me today, and we'll talk again soon.